portion of G4 has been brought to you by new Pringles Sweet Mesquite Barbecue Authentic Western Style. Taste from the land of the cowboys.
Taking out ghosts is a snapshot in Fatal Frame. Would you cheat for a Scooby snack in Scooby-Doo? And we're also going to revisit a haunted house game of old, only on this haunted edition of Cheat. Hey, I'm Corey Rouse, and you're watching Cheat, Pringles Gamer's Guide, the show that gives you strategy, secrets, and cheats on your favorite video games. We're here at the Whaley House here in San Diego, California. Now, this historic building has been called by some as the most haunted house in America. Well, we're going to explore this haunted house and take a look at some haunted games. And we'll learn more about the Spectral residents in a few minutes. But first, let's visit the original mystery solver, Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now.
When you play Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, plan on getting wrapped in some Scooby memories. It's just like watching the cartoon all those years ago on Saturday mornings. This Scooby game brings the talking dog and the rest of Mystery Inc. to life in the video game world.
For Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, it's more of a Scooby-Doo world for you to run around in. There are tasks to do of collecting enough Scooby snacks to open certain doors, basically have enough courage to go through to the next area. There are power-ups to get, floating from an umbrella or springy shoes to do a double jump, which allows you to move to new areas that you may not be able to get to before you have those power-ups. But mostly, for me anyway, it's to be able to see the Scooby-Doo world and see the villains that I know from the show, because every villain is a villain that was in the show, except for the mastermind.
That's right.
The story finds Scooby and the rest of the gang getting into their usual trouble as they solve a mystery. Shaggy, Velma, Fred, and Daphne have been kidnapped by this mastermind villain, and Scooby has to foil his plans.
Have you seen the others?
Well, but I lost them.
Scooby, help!
The mastermind is the only original one that we did, and we were going to make it be a villain right out of the TV show, but we couldn't think of which one would be the mastermind over all the other villains, because we all had our favorites, but none of them really were above the others. You know, so we figured we'd go ahead and make one up, and it also would fit the whatever story we made up for it to fit the game without having to be stuck to a story that was already created.
Cheat is here with a walkthrough to help Scooby figure out the mastermind's plans quicker. All those villains better watch out for Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Lovely.
In level Wreck on the Deck Part 2, we find a tough choke point. It involves a lot of jumping. You have to jump across the mast with sails, using them like trampolines. Scooby will be jumping a lot, and it's the double jump that will help him out, along with the umbrella power-up. The umbrella will help you reach some of the hard-to-reach trampolines. Follow the path ahead, where you'll find a trail of Scooby stacks. You have to jump across the trampolines to flip the red switches and turn the mast in the right direction. Then you jump back to the next row. Be careful, it's going to be tough because if you fall, you have to start back at the very beginning of this level. Just go slow and jump carefully, because it's no fun having to do this part twice. When you reach the end of these jumps, you'll begin part 3 of Wreck on the Deck. Later in the show, we'll have cheat codes to help Scooby find his friends.
Daphne?
Hey, the Scooby Gang didn't expose the ghostly villain till the end of the show. But here to talk to us about some real ghosts is a docent of the Whaley House, Mr. George Plum. Now, George, first of all, thanks for letting us come into this room. Where are we?
We are in the master bedroom.
Now, there's a story that goes along with this room, am I right?
Yes.
All right, and so what would that story be?
All right. I was sitting downstairs by the front door. I heard some kids screaming, and 3 little kids came running down the stairs, screaming hysterically. And I said, well, what's up? And one of them said, we saw a chair move. And I said, oh, what kind of chair? They said, a brown chair. Oh, yeah, take me up and show me the chair that moved. Came up here to the master bedroom. The chair that is there next to the table had scooted across and hit the wall. A short time after that, 3 other kids who were older had heard the chair hit the wall, and they came in to see what was going on. And they said in their words, we saw a tall man in a red shirt and a black hat or black hair. They weren't sure what. But he ran across the room here and into the closet there. They weren't sure whether he disappeared before he hit the curtain or if he went through. Now the room was in some disarray. This rug here was all scrunched up as if someone had run over it. The bed was messed up. The hat that's in that chair was on the bed. The curtain at this window here was over the table as if it had been blown over, but that window is never opened.
Huh. And now who was the guy that ran across?
All right. You may have heard of the legend of Yankee Jim Robinson. Yankee Jim Robinson was I won't say a gentleman, he was a guy apparently from Nova Scotia who had come out to California. Anyway, he was hanged somewhere where the house now stands, and his crime was he stole a rowboat.
Wow.
But the APB that they put out on him when they were looking for him was that he was tall, wearing a red shirt. So,
wow, so now he's running across and disappearing into closets.
yes.
All right, well, thank you very much, George.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
more
Thank
than
you very
welcome.
much. All right, so we are going to find out some more about the Whaley house when we come back, as well as we're going to learn how to take better pictures in Fatal Frame. Also, we're going to revisit some creepy corridors in Luigi's mansion. Coming up, only on Cheat.
What's up with that?
G4 is brought to you by Black Label Games, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Dark things are now moving in the land of Middle-earth. And the great quest of the ring is yours to take up from the beginning. Introducing the official games based on the literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien. Beware, your journey shall be a flight from danger to danger. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Rated T for teen.
Warning, do not attempt any of what you are about to see.
Welcome to Jackass!
It's all new, including the stuff you can't see on TV. Jackass, the movie. Rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Welcome back to Cheat, Pringles Gamer's Guide. I'm Corey Rouse. We're here at the Whaley house to bring you a special haunted edition of the show. We're here in the parlor where some have reported hearing ghostly sounds of Anna Whaley's organ being played. And over here we have portraits of Anna Whaley and Thomas Whaley, who some say are still ghostly residents of their house. Well, a famous Italian plumber just inherited his own haunted house. Let's help Luigi rid his mansion of ghosts. Mario's younger brother Luigi has inherited a sort of, well, I guess, okay, a really old house. Mario has also gone missing, and his emerald-dressed sibling has to find him. Luigi will have to rid the house of the ghost inhabitants to save his brother.
Hello?
Spoiler warning! Spoiler warning! We're going to help gamers with a pretty deep level of the game. Go carve a pumpkin for a couple of minutes if you don't want the secrets of this level revealed to you yet. As you play through the game, you'll find yourself on an outside balcony. What is this? A boo go round? How cute. Look at them go in circles. Okay, that was scary. The little boos disappear and return as a giant, big, bad boss boo. There's only one way to defeat this massive menace. Head towards the unicorn statue and run circles around it. The giant boo will pop when he touches the unicorn horn. Now is your chance to attack. Start by using your vacuum on the frozen ghost power-up floating near the statue. This will let you blow an icy attack against the little boos. When they're frozen, suck them up with your vacuum cleaner. You'll have to repeat the running circles, freezing, and fighting little boos until they've all been defeated. Hey, Luigi, don't forget that last little boo by the balcony. Very good. When you finish, you'll be rewarded with a big key. A quick visit to the portrificationizer will trap the ghost in a nice painting to add to your ghostly gallery. The key you got will open up a door back on the balcony. Oh, great. Now the power is out, and the phone is ringing. Pick it up, and for a little fun, when the voice on the other end asks who it is, answer Bowser. No, seriously, it's Toady on the phone, and he's scared of the dark. He's hiding somewhere in the mansion till Luigi can get the power back on. You'll have to find another key to get into the basement to throw the breaker switch. The problem is, the ghosts are now out in force with the lights out. This could take you quite a while if you try and vacuum every single specter who attacks you. A shortcut around this is to freeze them with your flashlight, but instead of vacuuming them, keep going. You'll have to do this several times. Freeze and go. It might be easier sometimes to just stand and fight, but the freeze and go move will help speed up making it to the basement. You'll need to make your way to this room where you'll find the ghost of Uncle Grimly. This grumpy ghost doesn't attack you right away. You can't attack him either until he tries to scare you. When he does, go after him with the vacuum. Beating him gives you another big key, which lets you into the basement. Head downstairs to it and find the really big switch on the wall. Throw the breaker and the lights come back on. Luigi will also receive another chest for completing this part of the game. Opening it gives you yet another big key to continue your ghost busting in the game. Now we're standing in the oldest part of the Whaley house. Now, originally this was built as a granary, but then it was turned into a school, a billiards hall, and a church. Now, Thomas Whaley wanted to lease this as a courthouse to the county of San Diego in 1869. And to tell us a little bit more about that and some other experiences, we have a docent of the Whaley house, Robin Leach. Hi, Robin. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing very well. So in this room, it's had its own experiences in and of itself, and that you were personally a part of, am I right?
Yes,
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I was standing right here about this spot, and I was giving my very first talk to the public that I'd ever given, and a woman was sitting on the front bench and looking at me funny and whispering to the woman next to her, and I didn't know what was going on, and I felt like somebody was behind me, so I kept turning around, and I was very nervous about the whole thing. And after I was done, she got me in private, and she said, I wanted to let you know that the whole time that you were standing there speaking, you had two people standing with you on either side of you right behind you. And one was about that high, and one was about that high. And that's how tall Mr. and Mrs. Whaley are. And I thought, well, maybe that's why I kept wanting to turn around.
We've had some other experiences in the house as well.
Yes,
and which brings me to actually right behind you, there's a whole desk of different photographs. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening in those?
Yes, those are in the children's nursery upstairs, and these are taken by our nighttime docent, Martin, and it looks like someone is sitting at the edge of the bed or scooting around on the bed and possibly climbing up off the bed. And there's a lot of activity in that room. And this is the same room, which was just becoming completely enshrouded in some kind of a fog or something.
Well, what about there's a picture over there that you actually traced an outline of a face. Where was that taken?
That was taken in the dining room window outside the house, and it's the lower pane on the glass is where that photo was taken, and it's got a little face in there behind the lace curtain. It's kind of creepy looking.
Yeah.
But I saw a little face in there because I'm an artist and I draw, and I thought, no, that's not that creepy looking. So I held it up to the window and I traced around the features, and it really is just a small little child. There's nothing frightening about it at all.
Well, speaking of taking pictures with ghosts, we're going to tell you how to be a better spirit photographer in Fatal Frame.
Legend has it the Himuro Mansion is haunted. Many people have mysteriously disappeared there. Now your older brother Mafuyu has disappeared, and it's up to you as Miku, his little sister, to rescue him. Armed with a magic camera having the power to exorcise ghosts, you must clear the mansion and find your brother. Welcome to the ghostly world of Fatal Frame. Once you've beaten Fatal Frame the first time, brave Shutter-happy sleuths unlock Battle Mode, where you run a poltergeist gauntlet against progressively more deadly ghosts. You have limited film, items, and time to defeat them. Survive all 20 missions if you can. Just don't cross the streams. It would be bad. After each mission, you're rated according to best time, best shot, and most importantly, rank. You receive rankings on a grading scale from A, B, C to D, with the S ranking being the best. Defeat your ghostly opponent in the shortest period of time with as few shots as possible, and you'll receive a higher ranking. The keys to perfecting your ghost-busting skills in battle mode are fairly simple. First of all, when you begin the mission, look for a ghostly apparition floating around you. Switch to Finder View. If you haven't spotted the ghost yet, remember to pay close attention to the filament, and don't ignore the vibration effect of the controller. They tell you when a ghost is near. Once you've spotted the ghost, the lock circle should lock onto the center of the target. Keep a steady aim and try to line up the crosshairs inside the lock circle. Also watch the capture circle. When it glows blue, the ghost is near, and your camera is ready to take a picture. When the circle glows orange, the ghost is very close, and attack is imminent, so take the picture already. The amount of damage you inflict corresponds to how much you charge the spirit meter. When you lock onto a ghost and have them lined up inside the circle, watch the spirit meter and let it charge up. The greater the charge, the greater the damage to the ghost. Be quick when the meter is fully charged. It doesn't last forever, and you'll have to wait for it to charge again. If a ghost does manage to attack you, don't panic. Try to run from the ghost, but don't run too far because they'll pop out at you again. Just put enough distance between you and the ghost long enough to bring the Finder View up again and snap its portrait. Remember to use your special functions too. The advantage they'll give you might mean the difference between all A's and straight S rankings.
Now we've come upstairs to the theater. Now this was the first commercial playhouse in San Diego. Now the artist who rendered the scenery behind me reported having his hat fall from a chair several feet across the floor. Now the thing was, he was alone in the room. Now the artist has never returned to this room since, but we will, along with other rooms in the house. But first, it's time for the Pringles popularity poll.
Pick up a candelabra and watch for loose floorboards. It's time for a haunted edition of the Pringles popularity poll. Brave gamers have logged on to g4tv.com/cheat to cast their vote for their favorite ghost-filled game. These included Maximo, Ghost to Glory, Scooby-Doo and the Night of 100 Frights, Luigi's Mansion, Fatal Frame, and the classic Haunted House. The haunted games that don't pop with gamers don't have to hide in fear. But this week's poltergeist of popularity is Maximo, Ghost to Glory. While he doesn't have to survive a haunted mansion, Maximo does have to keep his pants on while battling undead creatures to save the fair Queen Sophia. You can cheat death with unlimited Grim Reaper coins when you make a jumping sword attack against tombstones that have a glowing light about them. This frees 5 spirits. Grab them, and once you have 50 spirits, the next tombstone you attack will give you a Grim Reaper coin. Don't be afraid to log on to g4tv.com/cheat to cast your vote in the next Pringles popularity poll.
Yo, check it out. It's X to the Z. All you gamers out there, keep it locked. You watching G4. Peace.
TimeSplitters 2 is awesome. A brilliant game. Xbox Nation hails first Halo, now this. Experience the definitive PS2 shooter. Selected as a Game of the Year title. TimeSplitters 2, the most acclaimed game of the year. Available now. Rated T for teen. Race where no man has raced before. Jet X2O. Rated E for everyone.
Yes, pumpkin?
Don't pumpkin me, you bum! It's dinner time! Chop chop!
86 by the Navy? Screw them. Blow some ass out of the water with Sub-Rebellion. Rated T for Team.
One of these days, Eric, I'm really gonna lose it!
Sub-Rebellion.
This isn't an easy thing for me to say, so I'm just gonna say it. I've talked it over with Wood Elf and Tiger Woman, and we're going with another cleric. Sorry, Padre.
Good luck finding health potions.
EA Sports presents the National Madden Challenge, only on G4. A no-holds-barred, mano-a-mano, hard-hitting, tooth-spitting, bone-jarring war in the trenches. So whether you come with the skins or the fins, you better bring your A-game, because regional winners get a trip to Jamaica, and losers get a long off-season to think about it. Accommodations by Beaches Boscabel Resort and Golf Club. Go to maddenchallenge.com to enter.
We're here at the Whaley house in San Diego, California, walking you through the most haunted video games. Now, we're in an upstairs bedroom where the Whaley children lived. Now, recently, there's been some ghostly activity centered around this very rocking chair. Several people have seen it moving on its own. Well, some of the classic furniture in here dates back to about the 1800s, but you don't have to go back that far to play a classic haunted house game.
You want to see something really scary? Look at this game. Okay, well, it's not that scary. Haunted House is a classic title from the Atari 2600 era of gaming. While the graphics may look simple, the game could get quite hard, especially as you explored the higher difficulty settings. You are a very brave pair of googly eyes running through the mansion of Zachary Graves. There are some in the town of Spirit Bay who say Old Man Graves still haunts the 24-room mansion. The basic premise of the game is to find the 3 pieces of a magic urn, which was broken in an earthquake. You'll have to avoid giant tarantulas, vampire bats, and the ghost of Old Man Graves, too. Wow, lots of backstory for such a simple-looking game, huh? Some helpful objects you can find are the master key to open the locked doors in the house, and a magic scepter which makes you invisible to the evil things lurking in the hallways of the haunted house. As you move through the dark rooms, you can press the action button to light a match to help you see the items hidden in the room. But whenever one of the creepy creatures comes near you, a wind will whip up and blow out your only source of light. If you dare to explore the haunted halls of this classic game, try and find the scepter first. It will protect you as you look for the pieces of the urn. If you can't find the scepter, be prepared to run whenever you meet a menacing monster. If you're touched by one, you'll be scared to death. Even though you don't look like a cat, you get 9 lives in the game. If you're feeling truly brave, you can try the deeper, more difficult level settings where you will find locked doors and a mansion completely enshrouded by darkness with only your matches and a few lightning flashes to help you find your way. If you never got to visit Haunted House on the Atari 2600, log on to g4tv.com/cheat to find links to sites with classic games and systems to play them on.
Just keep telling yourself, it's just a game. Now, we've stepped outside the Whaley house to see where a police officer back in 1983 reported hearing a woman crying. When he entered this area, he saw a young woman sobbing into a scarf at the top of this landing. When he and his partner approached her, she smiled at them and then vanished into thin air. Scooby and Shaggy wouldn't even make it to the foot of the staircase. In Scooby-Doo and the Night of 100 Frights, your favorite talking dog is going to need more than a Scooby snack to solve this mystery.
Scooby-Doo has a lot of cheat codes and Easter eggs throughout the game. All of them will add to the fun as you solve the mastermind mystery.
We do have cheat codes where you can turn on all of your power-ups. But for instance, the sneak that you get bunny slippers and a lampshade to hide yourself is very funny to see, but once you get the cheat code, you move right on to the Black Knight armor, which allows you to be hiding while you sneak. So you no longer need the lampshade and the slippers, so you don't ever get to see that animation. But you will have all the power-ups.
We solved the mystery of how to unlock all these fun tricks and a few that Gregory didn't mention. To enable all power-ups, pause the game and hold the L1, L2, R1, and R2 buttons. Now be quick and press circle, square, circle, square, circle, square 3 times, circle 2 times, square, then circle 3 times. Once you've entered this code right, you'll hear Scooby say one of 4 different catchphrases. Now you have all the power-ups available to you. There's double jump so Scooby can reach those high-up places. He can use an umbrella to float across long distances. And there's the Black Knight armor that Gregory mentioned to us. Scooby can sneak around and hide from the villains. Right. Actually, you can cheat and see the animations Gregory mentioned. When you want to watch the FMVs of the game and see Scooby and Mystery Inc. in action, enter this code while the game is paused. Hold L1, L2, R1, and R2, and press square 3 times, circle 3 times, square, circle, square. Woohoo! The FMVs are just like the old Scooby cartoons, with the whole gang trying to figure out who this mastermind is. The credits are fun to watch too. You'll see Scooby and the gang being chased by some scary villains. Just pause, hold L1, L2, R1, and R2, and press square, circle 2 times, square, circle, square. Woohoo! There are some Easter eggs that will help celebrate the holidays, Halloween included.
Other Easter eggs and things we have depend on the date that your PlayStation is set to. For instance, Christmas time might capture some snow in the hub. 4th of July, there's fireworks. You might try out some different dates just to see what you could find if you can change the date on your PS2.
Just change your PlayStation 2 system date to see some special holiday decoration at the front yard of the playground by the mansion. For Halloween, October 31st, there are some bats hanging around the courtyard. On the 4th of July, you'll find fireworks in the sky. And there's snow for Christmas. Check out St. Patrick's Day on March 17th and Valentine's Day on February 14th for more decorations. And be sure to see what happens on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Since it's Halloween season, let's stick to the bats, even if they might scare Scooby-Doo.
For a recap of Scooby's cheats, pull the secret lever to reveal g4tv.com/cheat. You can also visit our featured link section to learn more about the Whaley house. If you've seen a ghost, or if you're stuck in a game, send us an email at cheat@g4tv.com. Well, that's it for today's show. Our thanks to the staff and the ghostly residents of the Whaley house for letting us visit. This is Corey Rouse saying, remember, if life's got you down, throw it into God mode and keep kicking butt. We'll see you next time on Cheat. There's no such thing as ghosts. Creepy. All right, now the artist has never returned to this room since, but we will. I heard something. Haunted video games, and we'll learn more about the Spectral residents in a few minutes. But first, it's time to visit the original mystery.